In episode 4, I sailed sea change from Marsden Cove Marina in Whangarei Bay up to Opua in preparation for the passage back north. In this episode 5, I sail north to New Caledonia, and the somewhat more straightforward passage took just 8 days versus the more convoluted passage south from Fiji last season that took 14 days. I started out on a lovely still morning, Monday, May 6th, anticipating that a southerly breeze would eventually fill in, and later that a low-pressure system off the northeast side of New Zealand would bring even stronger southerly winds to take us north. Little did I know just how strong they would be.
Well, it's Monday, 6th of May, and I am leaving Opua. It's way behind me now, way there in the distance, and just here in the foreground, 3 tiny little penguins. They're so cute. Well, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon now, and we are finally leaving the Bay of Islands. There's all the islands over there, including Motorua, where I spent a very nice day and then anchored on the way in, coming back up from Marsden Cove. This is Tiki Tiki Rock. We're going to go through in between and out into the ocean. So far, very lucky. We have dodged the rain. There's a big cloud about to try to hit us, but I don't think there's much in it. So far, so good. Now we just need some wind. And we are out to sea, finally. There's just a slight breeze coming in from the southeast, which is really nice. It'd be wonderful if that freshens to be able to get the jib up. Right now, I just have the mainsail just to nicely stabilize us, but yeah, you can see it's got a little bit of breeze in it, so there's hope. And that should turn into a nice southerly tomorrow that'll take us along. And you can see we have a shower here that we're trying to dodge. I think we're going to get past the front of it, which would be really nice. Leave without getting wet.
The next morning brought a gorgeous sunrise, lighting up the North Cape of New Zealand and its attendant long pink cloud.
All right, it's Tuesday, May 7th. It was a gentle night, but also a bit of a long one because I had to motor sail most of it. And a couple of hours where I managed to sail with the southwesterly. And then as we came around North Cape over there, the wind filled in nicely from the south. So now we're running almost straight north. Still not very fast, but we're going. And this is the end of it, end of New Zealand. I'm really glad I came down here. Met some great people. Got some badly needed repairs done to the transmission and the engine. And it's all good. I've even seen my first albatross this morning. Headed to New Caledonia. This is an albatross. I think it's a royal, southern royal. Beautiful white underneath, and then on the back black all the way across the wings. Oh, nice. Wow, what a treat. It was a rough night. Eventually had to get the mainsail down completely, and I'm running with just the staysail. And we are getting tossed around by these waves. Wow. Some of them have come on board, so I've got the washboards in here, backboards. And a couple we get thrown sideways and then slammed by a breaking wave. But wind vane is still working. Staysail's intact, mast is up, and we're dry inside, so just a matter of hanging on.
This was now Wednesday, May 8th, and during the night I had to go up on deck with harness and clipped in to drop the main and secure it to the boom. So we were sailing on a very broad reach with just the staysail and a sliver of the jib. But it was a nice day when not dodging squalls, one of which you could see way off to the west. I have to voice over this clip as the wind noise in the iPhone microphone is just too annoying. This clip is an attempt to show the size of the waves, which I estimated at 3 to 4 meters or 10 to 15 feet. But as always, video from the boat simply does not show them well enough. Note, however, that when in the troughs, I cannot see over the wave approaching from behind, giving an indication of how high they were. Some of the highest waves I had yet experienced, and some of them were even cresting. This view forward gives an idea of how much sea change moves around in these large waves, but does not quite show the feeling of surfing down them and then the wave moving on underneath us as we slide down into the next trough, only to repeat the pattern over and over again. This is what it's like in these massive waves with just the staysail. And when we're riding up the back of a wave, we do 3, 4, and we surf down there, we get an 8. I mean, it's crazy. Every now and again we're getting tossed sideways, and then water comes into the cockpit. I've just gotten soaked twice sitting out there. I'm spending a lot of the day inside because it's so rough outside, and you can't really sit in the cockpit easily. I stand up sometimes and look out at the view, but even that is pretty crazy. You have to absolutely hang on. And you look through the window here and wow. Even just being in the cabin is a major bracing effort. It's quite something. I mean, I've been in rough conditions before, but this just on and on and on. Oh, wow. Yikes. Hatch covers in, except the top one, and the companionway cover. Because every now and again a wave does come into the cockpit. Oh, now it's Friday, 10th of May. I haven't taken much video the last few days. It's been pretty crazy. Wednesday night, I got caught in a squash between the high that I'm riding here and the big low to the east. It's like a mini Maramoo. Totally overpowered with just the staysail. Eventually had to heave to for the night, and that was not a lot of fun. But last night we had just glorious conditions. Rolling along, there's not much in the way of waves and swell. It's a little chaotic, but we handled that. And we did it all with just the jib and the staysail. Haven't put the mainsail back up because I've got a new tear in it I need to fix. But we'll probably get that up today because the wind's going to be relatively light. So we're about halfway to New Caledonia. Friday afternoon, May the 10th. We are hauling the mail. Wind is dead behind us. I have the staysail and the full 100% jibber, and we are surfing. Whoa! Look at that. Consistent 7-8 knot surfs. Just flying along.
wind vane is amazingly good at keeping us going.
In these next two clips, you can hear the roar of the bow wave as we surf on each wave.
It's still Friday afternoon, May 10th, and man, we're just having a blast roaring along here. I've been sitting on the side here for a long time this afternoon, watching the birds, seen a couple of storm petrels, a couple of little white and grey petrels, the big all black petrels. I see coming on. There's this tropic bird, you won't be able to see it. I had one earlier, there's another one, just to the left of the fishing pole. And, oh, it's just wonderful, man. I've never really used this configuration of the two head sails. It's very stable. In fact, at one point I came out in the wind pilot, but disengaged somehow. Okay, but it's still riding straight downwind. Amazing. It's impossible to show the scale of these waves. Every now and again when we're in a trough, here comes the black petrel. Whoa! That was so fast. Every now and again we get a set of really big waves, and then we're down in the bottom. This one's a medium-sized one. Swell. They tower over us. So see the size of that? Oh man, the big swells of the other day, sharp and steeper, making a surfboard that turned into these rolling mountains. We don't surf on the aquarium stuff, we surf the in-between size ones. These big ones are too rounded to surf well. Here's a nice one. We're going to surf over this one over there. Get it out of the little ones on the face of the big swell. There we go. It's Saturday, 11th of May. We have the most glorious day of sailing today. Lovely blue sky. Sailing with just the 100% jib out to the left, poled out, so it's stable. And the staysail pulled out of the whisker pole to the starboard. We've pretty much been like this for 3 days now, and probably will be all the way to New Caledonia, because the wind is forecast to go east, which will take us across nicely once we get far enough north. And right now we are supposedly surrounded by Chinese fishing boats. You could hear them talking away on channel 16 at 5 a.m. this morning. I asked them to change channels and they did. But according to the AIS, we're right on top of one of them. I can't see it anywhere. Oh well, 6 of them on AIS.
Here is a shot of the AIS screen showing us almost on top of one of the signals from the Chinese fishing fleet. But in retrospect, I now believe these were small buoys marking their nets instead of fishing boats. But luckily I stayed to the west side of all of them and did not get caught up in any nets.
Sunday, 12th of May. Wow, what an absolutely gorgeous day. Trade winds, few clouds over there, but not much. Brilliant blue sky, brilliant blue water. White caps, it's probably blowing 15 to 20. It's absolutely perfect conditions, and we are racing along towards Lemire. We've set our goal to get there Tuesday morning. Still got 2 reefs in the main, so if it does die a little bit, we've got plenty of more power to get. The quarantine flag's out already. A little premature, but oh well. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. could not ask for a nicer day for sailing. The only strange thing is very few birds. But we are seeing flying fish, and we've had flying fish on the deck. I even had some for breakfast yesterday. Very nice. Wish it could all be like this. It's Monday, the 13th of May. Another lovely trade wind day. In fact, the trades have now circulated all the way around this high that's underneath us. They're now from the northeast, and as a result we are beam reaching. Right now the wind's a bit light, but boy, it was low and hard earlier. We were just cruising along. Anyway, we're doing 6 to 8. Just got the triple reef main, staysail, and about the same amount out from the jib. You can see we're sort of beam reaching. If you look up at the top there, we've got the quarantine flag already. It's Monday afternoon. We are approaching the bottom of New Caledonia here. There's a huge set of reefs that we have to negotiate. The pass we're going to go through is up at the top here to Namur. See our waypoint there, and we're absolutely blasting along here, having a great time beam reaching in the northeasterly breeze. Man, it's just flying along. And once we get up here behind these reefs, it'll calm down in terms of the swell and the waves, and I'll take the triple reef main down completely, and we'll just use the staysail and actually probably just the jib overnight until we get up to the pass and go in tomorrow morning on the flooding tide. Should be great. It's Tuesday the 14th of March, and we are on the final approach to the pass into Namur in New Caledonia. We made it. That was a long slow night, having to slow down because we were a bit early, but that's okay. We're behind the reef here, so the seas are calm. And here's the sunrise. Man, we fought our way through a monster squall about half an hour ago coming in here. And now it looks like we're going to hit another one just as we get in. The pass is up there ahead. Oh well, so it goes. Beautiful sunrise though. And we are coming in through the south pass of Bulari. There are 3 of them in north, the central and south. This is just the most convenient one. It's also wide open, so there should be no issues with current. But the tide, if there is any, is flooding in, so we should be good. And of course we have our 3rd squall of the morning. So I hope it does clear up eventually. It's got a tiny little bit of jib out for now. We could have the whole jib out, but we'll run the engine for a while, which is another whole story. It wouldn't start. Ay. So back down to the engine earth ground that Vince taught me all about, and cleaned it all up of the special grease that Keith had given me in Marsden Point Marina, which seemed to work just fine, but now apparently doesn't. Cleaned up all the contacts with a grinder that I'd bought in Cape Town to help fix the torch on my parents' old flat. So thankful I got that grinder, and fired right up. So we are good to go. It's at least 3 hours, probably 4 from here, and it's 9 o'clock now, so with luck we'll get in around about 1 for exactly 8-day passage to the hour. I eventually got caught out in one of these squalls that overpowered sea change, and the ram for the Ray Marine tiller autopilot broke. It is ridiculous that the ends that attach to the tiller and to the cockpit are made of plastic. They should be stainless steel like the rest of the ram, but at least they could be bodged with hose clamps. Now there's the lighthouse again. It's really quite pretty in the sun. We've got squall number 4 coming in here. So it looks like there's a bunch of houses and jetties, docks, maybe a little resort there, who knows. Very plain white but very tall lighthouse. Oh, the light's better now. See these red parasols here of a resort on this island. behind it. This hill seems to have some telecommunications towers on it. This is the main beachfront, I imagine, with high rises. There's a road in front, Western Road. And all the way around here, cranes building new high rises and fancy homes. These look like really fancy places. And this massive fire. Goodness no, quite something. Way back in there is where we're headed. Port Marcel Marina. Entering Port Marcel Marina here. They've got a large anchorage with lots of mooring balls, but man, it is packed full of boats. Wouldn't want to anchor in there unless I had a mooring ball. And, they've got somebody hopefully waiting for me in here. We'll just make sure we don't hit any rocks, and we should be good. There's the sign for the marina. Alright, we made it to New Caledonia. Very cool. Well, I've just arrived in Port Marcel. A lovely big, very fancy, newish marina here. But there's riots going on. It's a curfew tonight. The lockdown, banks and offices are all closed. Unable to go into the city. Just hoping I can get some food. This is a massive tire factory that's burning, and there are regular big explosions going on. So it's not clear what's happening. Apparently it's pro-independence versus the police. So yeah, a little chaotic. I'm not sure what it means for me.
In the next episode, I describe my week in New Caledonia, dealing with the chaos of the pro-independence riots of May 2024.